If you've ever walked into a room and forgotten why you came, struggled to focus for more than a few minutes, or felt like your thinking was slower than it used to be, you're not imagining it, and you're not alone. Most people just accept brain fog, poor memory, and mental fatigue as a normal part of life. But here's what the science actually shows. Your brain is not fixed. It's not declining on a set schedule. It's actively reshaping itself based on what you do every single day. This is called neuroplasticity. Your brain's ability to grow new connections, strengthen existing ones, and literally rewire itself in response to your habits. That means the brain you have today is not the brain you're stuck with. Today, we're going inside your brain to show you exactly what's happening when it's running slow, and the 7 science-backed habits that sharpen it, starting at the cellular level. Let's start with the problem. Inside your brain, right now, roughly 86 billion neurons are firing signals to each other through connections called synapses. The more a connection gets used, the stronger it becomes. The less it gets used, the weaker it gets. And eventually it gets pruned away. Modern life is quietly working against this system. Poor sleep, processed food, chronic stress, constant scrolling. Each of these weakens the very connections your brain needs to think clearly, remember things, and make decisions. The good news, each of the 7 habits we're about to cover does the opposite. Each one physically changes your brain in ways that science can now measure. Habit number 1, exercise. When you move your body, your brain releases a protein called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, often described as fertilizer for the brain. BDNF grows new neurons, strengthens synaptic connections, and protects existing ones from damage. Studies show that people who exercise regularly have a larger hippocampus, the region of the brain responsible for learning and memory. Even a single 20-minute walk increases focus and cognitive performance for hours afterward. You don't need a gym, you need movement. Walking, cycling, swimming, anything that raises your heart rate consistently is rewiring your brain while it's happening. Habit number 2, protect your sleep. While you sleep, your brain activates a cleaning system called the glymphatic system. It flushes out toxic waste products, including beta amyloid, the protein linked to Alzheimer's disease, that build up throughout the day. Just one night of poor sleep measurably impairs memory consolidation, reaction time, and decision making. Chronically poor sleep doesn't just make you tired, it literally allows toxic proteins to accumulate in your brain. 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep isn't a luxury. It's when your brain repairs, sorts, and stores everything you learned that day. Habit number 3. Learn something new. Every time you challenge your brain with something unfamiliar, a new language, a new instrument, a new skill, you force it to build new neural pathways. This is neuroplasticity in direct action. Research on London taxi drivers showed their hippocampi physically grew larger as they memorized the city's complex street layout. The brain doesn't just store information, it physically expands to hold it. The key is difficulty. Easy tasks don't build new pathways. Struggle is the signal that growth is happening. Habit number 4, manage your stress. Chronic stress floods your brain with cortisol. In short bursts, cortisol sharpens focus. It's designed to help you respond to immediate threats. But chronically elevated cortisol actively damages the hippocampus, shrinking the very region your brain uses to form and retrieve memories. Stress management isn't about eliminating stress. It's about preventing it from becoming chronic. Even 10 minutes of calm, breathing, a walk outside, a short meditation, lowers cortisol enough to give your hippocampus relief. Habit number 5, feed your brain. Your brain is about 60% fat, and it depends on specific nutrients to function properly. Omega-3 fatty acids found in fatty fish, walnuts, and flaxseed are essential for building and maintaining the myelin sheath, the insulation layer around your neurons that makes signals travel faster. Blueberries, dark leafy greens, and dark chocolate contain antioxidants that reduce inflammation and protect neurons from oxidative stress. And glucose from complex carbohydrates, not sugar spikes, is your brain's primary fuel source. What you eat changes what your brain can do. A brain running on ultra-processed food is operating at a measurable deficit. Habit number 6, stay socially connected. This one surprises people. Social interaction is one of the most cognitively demanding activities your brain performs. Conversation requires you to listen, interpret, predict, respond, and regulate your emotions, all at the same time. Studies consistently show that people with strong social connections have slower cognitive decline, better memory, and lower rates of dementia as they age. Loneliness, by contrast, activates the same stress pathways as physical pain and chronically elevates cortisol in ways that damage the brain over time. Real conversation, not passive scrolling, is a workout for your prefrontal cortex. Habit number 7, give your brain deliberate rest. This isn't the same as sleep. It's the intentional practice of doing nothing. No screens, no podcasts, no input, and letting your brain's default mode network activate. The default mode network is what fires when your mind wanders. It's responsible for creativity, self-reflection, problem-solving, and memory consolidation. When you never give it space, when every quiet moment gets filled with a phone screen, you're robbing your brain of the processing time it needs to make sense of everything it's taken in. Even 10 to 15 minutes of deliberate boredom each day, a walk without headphones, sitting quietly after a meal, gives your brain the reset it needs to perform at its best. Let's bring it all together. Your brain is not a fixed organ, slowly fading with age. It's a living, adaptive system that responds directly to what you do with it. Exercise grows new neurons. Sleep cleans out the toxic waste. Learning builds new pathways. Managing stress protects your hippocampus. Eating well fuels faster signals. Staying connected keeps your prefrontal cortex sharp. And deliberate rest gives your default mode network the space to do its deepest work. You don't need all 7 at once. You need to start with one. If you had to pick just one this week, pick exercise because it directly triggers BDNF, which makes every other habit on this list more effective. One walk a day, that's where a sharper brain begins. Not with a supplement, not with a brain training app, with the oldest tool your body has, movement. If this episode helped you understand what's actually happening inside your brain, subscribe to Inside Know. We go inside the human body every week. Thank you for joining us on another journey inside the human body. This is Inside Know.